Hey everyone, it's finally Friday. Can't help but sing my song again because it's finally Friday. Thank the Lord. I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but in the States we had a 3-day weekend last weekend. It was Memorial Day, I think. Yeah. And so we didn't work on Monday. But then it makes the next week like so crazy busy because there's so many things I'm trying to like squish into each day. So I'm tired, but it's Friday. And I'm doing my first Q&A. So I've asked people on Twitter, what questions do you want me to answer? And I had a couple that I wrote down myself. I'm pointing right now because I have a notepad down here so I don't forget anything. I just realized I talk like Courtney Pants just then. But anyway, so I have a couple of questions from people, and they're good questions. So I'll try to run through as many of these as I can. And leave me your feedback. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. I was thinking, because Demi is so smart and she had some good ideas, we do like Twitter Tuesdays and Thursdays, because Twitter's pretty busy. And we could do Facebook Friday, and then we could probably do, well, I guess, I don't know, what are we going to do about Tumblr then? Because maybe it should be Tumblr Thursdays and Twitter Tuesdays. But anyway, I'm going to do some more Q&As from different parts of social media so that each of you have an opportunity to ask questions. Okay, without further ado, the first question is something that I get a lot, and I've actually done a video on it, but I put it in a video called Relationships and Pregnancy, so nobody's been looking at it. I don't know if I would either, right? Because I'm not pregnant, so I don't know if I would think that that video pertained to me. But anyway, how to ask for help and what to say. And in that video, I say pretty much you should start with someone that you're closest to, a good friend, a family member, maybe a teacher at school or a social worker or I don't know, school counselor, any of those things. And it's best to start by saying something to the effect of, and it depends on what your issue is, but it's best to reach out and get help by saying something like, you know, lately I've just been feeling really stressed and really anxious, or insert issue here, right? And so I've been finding that, you know, if I eat a lot of food, or if I don't eat a lot of food, I feel better. Or I find that sometimes I scratch myself, and that's like a way for me to release that. You know, is there anything that I really would like to get help? Or, you know, it's kind of just a way to open the conversation. I find that a lot of us just throw a lot of information, like I do this many times, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's overwhelming for people. So I find if we keep it short, like I'm finding that I do this, and this because I'm stressed or anxious or whatever, that's usually the easiest way to start. Okay? So that was first question. Now, my second question is on Twitter, so I'm getting into Twitter right now. And Kate's in Twitter asked, are you going to write a book, and will you be able to do Skype sessions? And I'm looking into the Skype session thing because I was in my class, remember, for my licensing exam, which I still haven't heard back from the BBS about my test, so I will let you know about that. But the lady who was teaching my class said that if you're out of the state of California, I probably can't because my license is only good in California. And so that would mean that you're not, but I'm looking into that because there are actually places online that set up therapy via Skype. So I'm just curious, but I will keep you all posted. Very good question, Katie. And then, am I writing a book? And the answer to that, I guess, is yes. Right now, I'm so busy that this is kind of why I'm doing the Q&A, because I may spend less time answering questions one-on-one online and instead doing these so that you can pose your questions even in direct messages. If you don't want me to say your name, just let me know. But that way I can answer more questions and I can spend less time doing that online, typing questions, answers, and stuff like that, and more time creating the self-harm workbook, which I've already got going, and I actually have a lady who has a lot of information I'd like to link, but I need to get her approval first. And then obviously creating another workbook and a book. So yeah, I will be, but I'm just trying to figure out how to help people and also help more people and not leave anybody hanging. I don't want anybody to feel like I don't care about them or love them as much as I did in the past, but it's just getting a little crazy and I want to help more people. So I guess that's the long answer for that one. Okay, and another person on Twitter, and I'm not sure if you guys want me to say your names, but Catherine Kelly asked about self-harm and recovery. And I'm not sure exactly what specifically you wanting to know about it, but I think the most important thing is obviously that it's a process. Like any recovery, whether it's like depression, anxiety, whether it's eating disorder, self-harm, it's a process. It takes time. There's going to be ups and downs, and we're going to slip up and we're going to do the behavior. We're going to let the negative voices take over. And then sometimes we're not going to. And each day is a new challenge, a new opportunity, and we need to take that and we need to fight and we need to distract. That's the best thing to do for self-harm, because the voices just keep spinning and spinning. And sometimes we can't talk back fast enough. They're just like taking over. Get out of the house, call a friend, start journaling, scream into a pillow, punch into a pillow, anything to kind of keep you out of that mindset. And I've also been hearing from a lot of you, this is a nice segue into my next question about scars and cuts and stuff, because it's getting to be warm out, because I'm really hot. That's why my hair is in a ponytail, because sweet Jesus. And I've been trying to stay hydrated. Water, hello. But anyway, as far as cuts go, I think there are a couple things. Preventative stuff that will take a little while, and I know right now we're like, we need it now, but bio oil, Mederma are the two best that I've heard from you and that I've heard from my clients to get the scars to go away long term. Short term, MAC has a great cover up. You can just go in and say, I'm trying to cover up a tattoo. That's usually what I tell my clients to say. Go and ask them, like, I'm trying to cover up a tattoo for a wedding I'm in or an event I'm going to. What kind of, concealer do you have? Or you can go on Google and you can Google concealer for burns, which I know not all of you self-harm doing that. That's not what I'm saying, but there's a concealer out there that is great for covering veins and burns and things like that, and it covers scars too. So I would hop online and check that out. So that's kind of my best advice for that. And I'll do two more real quick here. Let's see if we have any others. Why are eating disorders so secretive and so dominating? I think, to be honest, they're secretive because the voices tell us negative things, and the things that we do can oftentimes be embarrassing. I know a lot of people abuse laxatives, and purging itself can be kind of embarrassing. Like, I just made myself throw up and I feel really bad about that. And binging can be really embarrassing too, because you feel like you ate all this food and you don't want to tell anybody about it. And it lives in the secret because it's so negative. So it tells us, well, if you tell somebody, they're just going to say, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat, you're lazy, you're da-da-da, whatever. It tells us all that nasty stuff. And so we get that on one front, where it's that negative voice. And then the things that we do are kind of embarrassing. They're hard to talk about. And so I think it gets us with both. And that's why it's so dominating and it's so secretive, because you'll find, and in recovery, I always encourage you, the more you talk about it, the better, because you'll find that it thrives in the secret and it dies in the light. When we actually shed light on it and we talk about it and we open it up and we're like, this is what it is, you'll be surprised people don't get grossed out a lot. People don't get embarrassed or make you feel bad like it told you they would. And it kind of goes away slowly. I mean, it's a process, not perfection, like I said, but I hope that's an answer to that question. And let me see if there are any more on Twitter. How to learn, this is a really good one. How to learn to take a compliment without feeling worse after they say it. And that's from Mike on Twitter. And that's a tricky one. And that has to do with those negative voices and fighting back. And a lot of times I'll have my clients write those things down on Post-it notes in my body image, building a better body image. If I could link it, maybe I'll put it in the comments below, building a better body image video. I talk about putting little Post-its up about things that people say that are nice, writing them in our journal, and just reminding ourselves. The more you hear, because think about it, sorry, I'm getting all discombobulated, but if we're hearing all this negative talk all the time, then we need to offset that with more positive talk. And that's a way to do it, is by repeating these nice things that people say, writing them down, putting them on Post-it notes so you see them all the time, because it's that negative voice that ends up making us feel worse, because it tries to turn that against us. So it's like, they were just lying. You don't look good today. They just feel bad for you because, blah, 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 and it just makes it worse. When actually that person was being genuine and they were being nice. I mean, how many times do I send you watching right now, a tweet or a message, and I'm like, you're amazing, I'm so proud of you. And when you read it, you let that voice tell you, that's a lie. Katie says that to everybody. It's no big deal, blah, blah, blah. You're a loser, right? How often does that happen? probably way more often than we'd like to admit, right? So that's my best advice on that, okay? Last one from, I don't know how to say, Dana Null here. Says, Fussy Eaters and why they are that way. I've always been one my whole life, but I want to improve my eating habits. And that's actually a really tricky one. And this is kind of fun to do on the fly. It's like you're in my office and we're just talking about this. And so I think fussy eating, there's a lot of research and a lot of things I've done, looked into about feeding disorders when we're younger. And honestly, a lot of the fussiness usually ties back to attention from our parents and love and support. And by being fussy, we get more attention because whether it's positive or negative, they're either going to spend more time with us, make things special for us because we don't like certain things. And oftentimes when we tell ourselves we don't like something enough, we honestly can make ourselves like sick over it. We don't want to eat it, right? And so that's what I've read and that's what I've experienced in my office. This is something that I think is a good question. If anybody has any good feedback, I'm going to keep looking into this. But that's usually what it stems from. And as we reach adulthood, we are still, because we've told ourselves we don't like peas or we don't like meat or we don't like, I don't know, pasta. Who knows? I love pasta. I love all those things. But anyway, we've told ourselves that so much that we can't even enjoy it anymore. And it takes time to undo it. I've actually had clients work on this and be able to slowly reteach themselves by trying different foods that they quote unquote don't like. And they'll be surprised that they do. So I think that's really the answer that I have for that. And if anybody has any feedback, obviously you can leave your comments below. So yeah, I'm going to keep doing this. Happy Friday. It's finally Friday. And tell me what you think if you like this. I'll do about this length each time. It feels pretty good to me. It's not too much out of my day or anything like that, but I'm about to get outside because it is sunny and hot and it's Friday. So have a great weekend, everyone. I love you all very much and I will keep doing these Monday through Friday. Okay? Bye.